everyone, this is your girl Lala right now, and I am here for another story time. If you are new to my channel, just so you know, make sure you click on the subscribe button down below and make sure you like, comment, and share this video. So, in addition, I'm gonna put a little disclaimer down there, so make sure y'all read that first before y'all start coming for me on these comments, cause not, and you come for me, you're gonna get sent to Block City. So I can tell you. So my story time is based on another time when I was working at Radio Shack. Now, yes, as you guys seen on the caption below, I'm gonna give you the story about the time that a supervisor of mine straight yelled at me and talked to me sideways, and I had it recorded. Now, how should I start this? So when I started working at Radio Shack, again, remember I told you guys I was working at the Citadel Mall. If you guys lived in Colorado Springs, Colorado, you guys know where the Citadel Mall was at. So I was working under a manager, his name, I'm gonna call him Rob. I was working under Rob. So under Rob, I was there for a good minute. Then all of a sudden, they transferred me to another Radio Shack store that was down on South Academy, whereas I came across Tony. So apparently Tony, he was cool, he wasn't wrong. He was just a cool cat, whatever. I think I worked with 2 other Radio Shack members that was there, but other than that, everything was cool until, I would say, let's fast forward. I would say till November going to December. I noticed that Tony's attitude started to change towards me. Like, he'll talk to me any kind of way, and I'll be like, dude, like, what's your problem? I'll be looking at him like crazy. It was one time, like, I got so upset because he one time was like, I don't like liars, and it was one time I just burst into tears. And he will talk to me any kind of way, and I will run back and like tell my family members. It was one time my brother wanted to come down there and set him straight. So it was one day, and I thought everything was squash because I was just like, no, we're not doing this. You're not gonna come at me like I'm some hoe on the block. So this is when I didn't have a car. So on my day off, and I just went on a limb, I had my older cousin Junior, drive me to my job, and I told Tony, I need to talk to you outside. So we're talking outside. I'm like, yo, my man, like, what is your problem? Because every time from the times I've been working with you, it's always been like, you got something rude to say to me, you want to yell at me in front of everybody. I'm like, what is the problem? Like, what's the issue? Then he was like, oh, he backpedaled so fast. He was just like, oh, it's your work ethic. I'm like, dude, I'm part-time. Like, even when I'm part-time, I work like I'm full-time. So I'm trying to figure out still, what was the problem? Now, mind you, I never had an issue when I was working under Rob. And from when I was working back with Rob, when I got transferred back to the Citadel Mall, but I'm going to tell you how that shit happened later on as I continue. Me and Rob will have issues, but the shit will get squashed later on. This dude, Tony, I don't know what happened after I confronted him. I guess he still continued to like taunt me and be a little bitch. I can't stress that enough. He was just being a bitch for a grown-ass man who have children of his own. You want to be a bitch. So now I find out I got transferred to another Radio Shack store that was up on 8th Street. That was the hood. Okay? The hood. It was like right next to a Captain D's. Okay, cool. I'm transferred. I'll have to deal with Tony's ass. Yay! I got this other supervisor. He look mad cool. He a sweetheart. He cool. I'm going to call him Scott. Because I don't remember all the supervisor's name like that. I'm sorry. I'm going to call him Scott. So Scott was a cool guy until the next day I came in, and that's when I also, the same day I met Scott, I met a girl named Ashley. Ashley, she was cool, whatever, very down to earth, whatever. She was a little younger than me, but she was a sweetheart. She was cool. She would tell me about her boyfriend, whatever. Okay, cool. Then I would say a few days later, you ready for this? I see Tony again. I'm thinking, what the hell are you doing here? So when I'm finding out, okay, this dude's he's here only for a little bit because Scott is just, away on training and this and the third. Because, sometimes they pull Radio Shack supervisors, managers, at the time we call them, to go for training. Okay, cool. You here running the shop and the same for Scott. Okay, cool. Days went to weeks into a month that I'm still staring at Tony and I'm dealing with the same kind of BS. Come to find out, oh my God, this dude was running the store. He was taking Scott's place. I said, I'm thinking, you motherfucker. You dirty motherfucker. Like, why? It's like, you ever seen like that movie? Oh my God, it's so old. They Always Come Back. That's what Tony was. Like, this dude was like herpes. Like, he came back like freaking herpes. Oh my God. Like, I swear to God. So I had to like swallow my pride. Didn't say nothing. Kept my mouth shut. Because I remember at the same time I was still going to school. Okay. So as time progresses, I'm in school. I'm still working for Radio Shack part-time. So this is when shit gets really real. I remember the night I had to close with Tony. Mind you, Tony, when I say he was a bitch, he was a bitch. Because anytime when he used to see my mom, because my mom would stop by the store when he was at the South Academy, or my mom used to come pick me up, he had this grin on his face. He, ha, ha, ha. But when they gone, it's like, oh, you want to come at me sideways. And I couldn't say nothing. I couldn't pop off because, I still had a job. I don't know. I was thinking at the time I was young, like, oh my God, I'm going to get fired. So this one day, I said, you know what? I was going to catch this nigga in the wrong. So I remember I had this small little MP3 player. Small little, back then you had MP3 players. And they had like all those functions where you can record people. Guess what I did? So all of a sudden, for some reason, he's standing there. I think he was telling me something, and I'm just telling him what if this, that, or third. And then I remember I had the record button on because when I was talking, I had the record button on. And I'm recording everything what's going on between me and him. And before anyone else say anything, talk about, oh, you recorded without cassette. I don't care. Because this man was irking my soul. I do not care. So the thing that freaking shut me down and it saved me for not wanting to leap over and give him one Superman punch and send this man to Suplex City, or even be a Braun Strowman and say, you're gonna get these hands, was when my mom was pulling up with my uncle. I think it was my uncle. He was, and apparently he said, and I quote, Tony said, well, Lashana, why can't you just shut up your mouth? And that being said, all I saw was red. And I was like, dude, like, I'm looking at him like he's crazy. Like, all I can think of is who in the bloody hell you think you're talking to? And all I can think about in my mind is like, yo, like, you is a bad person. Like, what is wrong with you? So after my mom came by and picked me up, I told her what happened. I let her listen to the recording. And I think my uncle was in the car. I let him listen to the recording. I said, no, Mom, don't worry about it. I know what to do. So the next day, and I remember I was at Derek, aka my ex-boyfriend's sister's house, LaShonda's house, because at the time, that was before I met Derek. I was at her house. I was on the phone with a district manager Oh, I went there and I asked for a meeting with him in person. First off, he was acting like he was too good to meet with me. I said, no, 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 no. It's about one of your managers. It's one about your people. No, we need to meet in person. This phone thing is not going to work. I need to meet you in person. So as I remember, I think I took, this is when I didn't have a car, so I took the bus faithfully. I was not even a minute late. I was not even a minute late. I was like probably 5 minutes early. Spoke to him and I told him, I said, look, I have a problem with, I'm going to call this district manager Matt. So I told Matt, hey, good morning. Thank you for taking the time to meet up with me. I said, look, I have a problem with your manager, Tony. I don't like how he talks to me. He talks to me like I'm trash. I have a recording of him yelling at me. We could plug it up to speakers right now. And I slammed the MP3 player right there. Like, I got the proof, sweetheart. He said, so what do you want to do? I said, put me back in the Citadel Mall. Because you're not going to have me waste my time to go all the way to 8th Street to be treated like trash. There was no way. So they put me back at the Citadel Mall. But here was the catch. Because they want to be petty about it. This is when I met another supervisor. His name was Peter. He was so cool. Like, yo, big shout out to my boy Peter, yo. Like, that dude was funny as fuck. He tells me flat out, like, look, if you mess up, because it was like guidelines, like they had set, I think they set this up for me because they knew I had the upper hand, and they talked about it amongst each other, like, okay, I don't know, for some reason, I don't know, they thought like this black little girl, this Hispanic little girl had this upper hand, so we got to give her what get her what she wants, but we got to show her we got the upper hand. So they was telling me like, oh, Peter was like, look, this is what happens. Like, if you mess up here, you're fired, you're gone, there's no turning back. So I felt like I was on probation. When I tell you I felt like I was on probation, I was like, oh my God, here we go. Like, yo, this is some, like, pettiness. I knew this was coming. So I did what I did. I worked my butt off. I came to work on time. I did my sales. Even when it was military payday, like, there was some military guys in there. I hope to God they're not watching this. Like, I smile and giggle just to get my freaking sales because I knew they was full of money. Okay? So, like, I finessed the shit to get my sales. And that kept me so way off the radar. But yet, I had another one. I remember, who was it? It was Ella. And y'all remember Ella, the one I told you that I almost beat her ass. That was the drunk. I'm going to leave that link below with that situation. Ella used to work with me at Radio Shack. What happened was that she even came to, she's like, yeah, I heard about you. You're the one who recorded, Tony cursing you out, something like that. So I said, oh, people knew about me, but they didn't know about me about the right way. So what hit the fan was that I stayed way below the radar for a short period of time. And that's when things simmered down, things died down. Rob was like, even though me and Rob would have our little nitpicks, but it wasn't even that major. It was like, all right, cool, whatever. Then there was a time, I remember, oh my God, and I don't wish this on my worst enemy, but you know what? It was called karma. Karma came back and bit Tony in the ass. You can't sit, and it bit him not once, but twice. It apparently was that the first time it bit him in the ass was around after Christmas. After Christmas, everybody start returning shit. Like, probably they got as a gift, and they want to return it, they want to get their money back, yada yada, whoop-de-whoop. Okay, cool. So this couple came in, nice couple, and I was ready to help them out. And I was like, oh, I see 8th Street. So I didn't pay no mind to it until a lady opens her mouth and tells me, oh, we would have went to 8th Street, but it was filled with cops. I was like, are you guys, and you know me, I was like, with cops? Like, are you guys okay? You guys are good? They was like, no, it wasn't. Like, the situation was like, it was with a lot of cops. So Rob, oh my God, Rob was like messy boots. But if he wants to get the tea, he knew who to call. I see Rob tiptoeing his ass to the back room with the phone for the store. I said, you know what, I'm done. So I went ahead and just like, do the return. Because they pay cash. We had enough cash. Paid the return. Had them send their mail away. It was early morning. I would say early morning, early afternoon. I would say like it was about to be 12 o'clock. Okay, cool. So I think another coworker came in. And then that's when Rob comes out talking about, hey, the H Street store got robbed. Excuse me? What do you mean he got robbed? Excuse me? Rob, what are you talking about? Yeah, like he said, I said, well, who was all in there? He was like, well, it was just Tony and that's it. Because Tony opened up the store. He said a guy came in, locked the door, and told him, I think he held him at gunpoint and told him to give me all the shit behind the counter. Mind you, behind the counter in the glass, if you guys shopped at Radio Shack or known as The Shack, there's like iPhones, cameras, whatever the display was. Anthony had to cough that shit up and the guy left. So I'm like, oh shit. Damn. And then it got so big to whereas I remember Peter, because at that time Peter got sent to another store. I remember what store he got sent to. He hits me up out of nowhere. LaShawna, do you have something to do with this? I'm like, hell no. I did not. No, I did not. A lot of people thought I speculate that shit. I said, no, I did not. I'm not going to rob nobody. I ain't going to rob the company. No, if anything, I wanted to give him these heads. That's all I wanted to do. So I didn't have nothing to do with that. That was something called karma. That bitch came a knocking. So that was the first time karma came back for Tony. The second time karma came back for Tony was when this fool was stealing and he got caught. He was stealing from the company and he got caught. He used to maneuver some thing with the systems to make it seem like, everything was good with the inventory. No. This dude was stealing. We're talking about TVs. Money. Hell, even a laptop. Then there was a little snippet, and I had my suspicions about it, but I already knew about it because Ashley came clean to me about it. She told me that Tony used to try to make a move on her. He would press his body on her, like to the point like she felt his Johnson down there. So yeah, but then rumors speculated that there was something going on between Ashley and Tony, and I said, that's why he was probably extra nice to her. And then a lot of people came to me was like, he's probably was mean to you because he tried to holler at you and you didn't give him no play. I said, well, if that's the case, my ass is hella blind because I did not see that. I did not. So one thing I tell people, you could be at a higher power, but you better start treating your employees with some good respect because now these days it's gonna come back and bite you in the ass. Now, I'll say this other one situation, another story time, because there's another story time I would love to bring up, and it was a call center situation where a disgruntled employee kind of went after everybody. Not like on some physical shit, but he or she went after everybody on social media. But that's gonna be for another story time. But till then, everybody, this is your girl Lala. I know I'm in the living room because I got tired of being in my room and I need to watch some food that my mom was cooking. But till then, this is your girl Lala. You guys have an awesome day, and comment down below if you had any kind of disgruntled supervisor or manager situations that you can relate to me. Till then, bye.